From wherever in the world you are watching, welcome to the Great British Mickey Waffle. I'm Jill, and for this week's show, we're going to look at the Walt Disney World Resort hotels, what makes them different from staying off-site, and some of the things you can expect to enjoy when you're a guest of the mouse. So grab your suitcases, it's time to check in. Hello! So, who am I sharing an executive suite with this week? Well, we've got Ben. Hi, Ben.
Hello. Hi, Jill. How are you?
Good. We've got Becca.
Hello.
Hi. We've got Claire.
Hello, Jill. I think it might be a bit cosy with all of us in one suite. I'll take the room next door.
Oh,
The
It
adjoining
depends. Are
room.
we all in adjoining rooms, connected
yeah,
doors, or is
You
this
could
just
open
like,
all the doors up and just like run backwards and forwards between the rooms.
or is this like the cabins at Wilderness Lodge?
Yes, I was going to say
yeah.
cabin.
And we've
It's-
got John. Hi, John.
Hiya, Jill. I'm going to take the room at the end of the corridor. It'd probably be where I belong. If I'm
Keep
being
an eye on everybody else.
Oh, in the other hotel.
I think
yeah.
so.
The one with the pine kitchen, Jill.
Yes.
You're just going
was
down there
waiting
because
for
it's
that,
going to be
yeah.
quieter.
And of course, we've
Exactly.
John's-
I like
if
the
John's there,
I
it
like
won't
the
be.
quiet life. That's
Well, it will be
exactly-
because you're not going to be next door. You're going to be at the other
John's
end of
still
the
be
corridor.
talking hours later. We'll close the door, and we can still hear John talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
And
myself.
of course,
That'll be it.
we've got my partner in crime, Peter.
Looks like I'm on the fold-down bed then. doesn't it?
Yeah.
Disney Murphy beds aren't too
They're
bad.
quite comfy.
No.
Again.
As long as you're only
That's it.
5 foot tall.
Yeah.
I was fine on it.
So,
Rest my case.
have we all stayed in an on-site Walt Disney World hotel? And,
Yes.
what's our favourite things
Plenty.
about them?
That are on site.
Show over. There we go. Thanks very much.
Mic drop.
Thanks for
Have an
coming,
hour of
everyone.
life
There
back,
we go.
everyone.
4 minutes. There we go. Done.
We're in. We're done. We're gone.
Go and watch The Traitors. Enjoy.
No, don't worry. No, that's just no. Don't. That's
No
just like-
spoilers. That's what.
I haven't watched
Oh,
it,
don't-
actually.
oh, no,
Don't be a
no.
traitor.
Apparently it's better to binge, is what I've been told. So,
No. No.
No.
Anyway,
I got told binge is bad, but that was about.
Depends
that's
what you're
about-
binging, John.
That was about other stuff.
yeah.
Yes.
it's food and alcohol, I think.
I was. That's where I'm going wrong. That's it. You know.
So, just wondering, all our friends in the chat, who has stayed in a Walt Disney World on-site hotel?
Yeah.
And which is your
Tell us
favourite?
some of your
Yeah.
favourite things.
Tell us your favourites. I think as well. I think this is one of the things that I'm in this position. I'm actually in a really good place here because after all these years of doing these shows and having never had a countdown to a Walt Disney World trip, I now actually have to listen to all the stuff that we actually, all that information. I
Do you mean you
actually
have to pay
listen to it.
attention, John?
Yeah, exactly. I can't go off on a tangent.
All that
because
rubbish
it's all-
we've been talking for the last nearly 5 years. Gonna go and
Yeah, but-
find out what we
Well,
said.
when you go back on the binge bit, I'll need to binge listen all the podcasts and things like that again, won't I? Just so I can take on board
How
all
do
the
you use
information. Yeah.
John, how about we just
What's
put
a
all of,
lightning
all of our
lane?
shows through ChatGPT and we can summarise it.
Summarise 5 years in 10 lines.
to be
or
honest,
less.
to be honest, Ben, it'd be easier if I actually listened to them. That would be the most perfect way of doing it, and it actually makes it totally real for me now.
Yeah.
And this is the bit that's really different. Instead of looking on the past, it's looking into the future, and actually looking at things that are completely relevant to planning another trip. And we're in January. I know our friends at Portwood Travel, who are great supporters of the show. I know they're in the
chat.
They're in the chat as well. There
Yeah.
you go.
Woo, hi guys.
But again, it's their busiest month, so we may have people who are listening to us for the very first time. And if you are listening for the first time, a huge welcome to you. What we really hope is, as much as I'm planning a trip, I hope what we can provide either on a Wednesday or through the podcast is some kind of inspiration to help you plan your trip, irrespective of who you booked it with. But if you get in touch with Neil and Karen at Portwood Travel, because they're really good. But
There's a link on the screen.
there you go, Ben. Look at that. I'm impressed. I'm right impressed with that.
Professionalism.
So it is, isn't it? But if you're listening for the very first time, it doesn't get much better than this. So yeah, be warned. It's a lot of giggling. It's a lot of giggling, and it's a lot of just a bit in the middle of the week. I think I said this last week. I have so look forward this week to actually doing this show, because I know for a lot of people who watch live, watch as a catch up, or listen to the podcast, January's been such a long month, hasn't it? I'm getting to the stage where I just
628 days.
want February to
counting.
start, and just like I had the most amazing sight today.
Got some bad news about February, John. It's longer than normal.
I know.
There's good things that happen in February.
Yeah.
That's the thing. January genuinely has nothing good about
It's
it.
just got nothing.
Other than, I'm going to say happy birthday, Morgan. He's 21 today, so
Yes.
that's the good
Happy
thing that
birthday,
happened.
There you
Morgan.
go.
Happy birthday.
But
Wow.
February, you get the Six Nations in February. That's what makes it good.
Yeah.
Pancakes. Pancakes.
Formula
I don't
One
like- I
season
don't like
starts.
pancakes.
Valentine's Day.
Super Bowl. There you go.
Hey.
So there are things to be happy about in February.
Yeah.
January, not so much.
I actually, on the positive side, I actually saw the very first snowdrops today. And
Okay.
living up north, probably you guys down south, you've probably had them for the past 6 months, like, you know.
Yeah,
but
we don't ever lose them.
Really, actually.
No.
very
I don't
first.
know. It's not stopped raining long enough to find them.
Aye, exactly. But yeah, very first one. So a big welcome. Anyone who's new, anyone who's been watching before, a welcome to you guys as well, because we love doing this on a Wednesday. It is such a good fun, and it just lifts your spirits. I must admit, I had a really smutty moment this morning with Kenny, my friend, who's sometimes in chat. He's not yet, right? Because he made a comment about Hump Day, right?
Okay.
Now, loads of people have this thing and they call it Hump Day. And this morning, for the very first time ever, I went on Twitter, previously known as.
Please tell me you didn't look
Thanks.
up Hump Day.
No, it was trending, right? It was trending this morning, and it
Not
was
the kind of
trending-
trending you want to look at, John.
No, but it was trending for exactly the same smutty reason that Kenny and I had shared the text this morning. It was like, you would never get away with calling a day Hump Day when we were at school, right? You just wouldn't. It would have the entire year group in stitches.
Wow.
In the middle of our Glasgow secondary school. You would be laughed out of town if you said welcome to Hump Day. Just saying.
You can say
There you
it
go.
tonight. There you are. We don't mind. Welcome
It's
to
not right next
John's.
to camel.
Welcome
got
to
it.
John's Hump Day.
And it just creases me every time. You just can't call it day Hump Day. It's wrong.
It's
Do you know what?
something to do with camels, I think.
It's
So, yeah.
Wednesday.
Let's
It's
move on.
Wednesday.
There
Yeah,
are
please
people.
do.
I was going to say there are people in the chat talking about their favourite hotels, which is apparently
Yes.
the topic of tonight's show. And what,
Not humps.
not well. I think the two may be synonymous. But I've seen some friends who haven't been here for a little while, which is really nice. John's lost it. Excellent. I've achieved.
Go on,
And
keep
so
going, Claire.
I am seeing lots of love for the Poly and the Grand Flow.
Yeah.
And the contemporary. So monorail resorts are winning this game at the moment.
Yeah.
But they are one of the most priciest as well.
I say, which
But
is
they
your
are
favourite
winning.
hotel and why is it the Poly? Is the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well-
and which kidney do you sell to stay there?
Right.
That's it,
Yeah, it is amazing.
So have we all stayed
Yeah.
at the Poly?
No, you
No,
have. We
no.
know you have.
Twice.
Greedy.
It's gorgeous, though.
Yeah.
It smells
It
so
is
nice.
gorgeous.
I prefer it to Le Grand.
To
Yeah.
stay there, definitely.
I would definitely choose the Poly over the Grand Floridian.
Oh wow.
Grand Floridian's nice, and
Definitely.
it was definitely a bucket list for us. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that we did it. But I would much rather be in the Poly.
So the Grand Flow even is a bit bougie, even for me. I just it's a little bit. It feels lovely.
Just wait a minute, Claire. Hang on. I'm going to write. I'm writing it down. I'm putting that on the list. There
John
you go.
staying at the Grand.
That's it.
No, I'm just saying the Grand
It's a
Flow.
bit bougie even for Claire. That is that's
Is
a
that his new
statement.
tagline?
That's a statement and a half.
So when Neil and Karen are putting forward like quotes and things for the Grand Floridian,
Floridian.
still too bougie from Claire.
It's a bougie for Claire.
I've heard that the Grand Floridian has pine kitchens. That's why I'm not going to stay there.
There you go.
Do you know? I think the Poly has just some real magic about it. I think someone said, who is it? Carrie said she finds the Poly too dark. And I actually think that the dark lighting, the slightly subdued lighting, the dark wood, the torches, all of that kind of adds to the atmosphere that I love. I can see for some people it may not be great.
The
But
rooms
for
we
me-
stayed in there were very bright.
Yeah.
But,
Are they the Moana rooms? The new?
No,
one of them was.
No, one of them was, one of them wasn't. So both of them, and they do have that dark wood, that dark finish, but all of the accents of everything else is quite bright, so you get that contrast.
Bright
So it's not
blues and
it's not as dark
hills and things.
as staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
So that's one of the things, isn't
Animal
it?
Kingdom Lodge, you need a torch. It's
But Animal
Night
Kingdom Lodge is
goggles,
one of
night
my
vision goggles
favourites.
just to find your room, let alone the animals.
but the reason to stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge is this view.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's a standard view.
Standard pit jumbo.
There's
Yeah.
trees.
There's a giraffe in there
And
somewhere.
there is
Oh, is
some
there?
giraffes.
Okay.
We saw giraffes pretty much every day.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a feeding area for them.
So that's the thing, isn't it, Ben? Well, you asked, do we all prefer, what's a good thing about staying in an on-site hotel? And the theming, the atmosphere and the theming is the number one thing. And they're all different. And I think that that's the cool thing. Unless you, like, even all the All-Stars, they're much of a muchness, but they've all got a separate theme. So for me, the good thing about being in an on-site hotel is you can pick your theme. You can pick whether you want it to be in your face Mickey Mouse or whether you want it to be more subtle, more adult, more child friendly. However what's your favorite character? Find a hotel that matches that feel. So I think that for me is one of the real key things. And we don't stay on site as a family. I stay on site when I'm on my own.
But not at the Grand Floridian, obviously.
No, not at the Grand Floridian.
Because it's too bougie.
Coronado Springs.
Yeah, in the
Which-
tower.
Hands down, if I was choosing a moderate,
And
Yeah.
actually,
That would
Lisa
be my choice.
Milan's just got home
Oh,
from
hey.
staying in the tower.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
It's
cool.
very nice. A long walk to the food court area and the shop. I don't bother going there, to be honest with you. I just
Yeah.
got to Dahlia Lounge. or Barcelona Lounge has a
Yeah.
breakfast and
they've got a very nice
Coffee.
breakfast.
very nice coffee.
Yeah, the breakfast there is nice as
So-
well. They don't normally advertise. We didn't realise they did.
No.
do
Yeah,
breakfast
it's not
options.
not a well-known option, but
No.
it's the tower's just stunning.
It's really
But
It's-
it doesn't.
The
It
thing
doesn't.
is, it's deluxe at a moderate resort, and the
And that's the
pricing is not
difference,
yet
yeah.
deluxe. It's one of those ones where they've just expanded the resort and gone. We're going to just level this hotel up, and it just is really impressive what they've done
It's like
with
pimp my hotel moment.
Yes.
And I had this conversation with Sean, who's not in the chat tonight yet.
No.
We were
It's
talking
probably
about
booking a trip.
Well, we
But
were
then-
talking about it last night about where he was going to book, and he said,
cool.
he thought the rooms in Grandestino Tower were smaller than the standard rooms." I said, "No, they're slightly
they're-
bigger." And he's like, "Oh, well, in that case,
They're a really good
Um,
size.
But the theming, I think, is it doesn't matter what your preference is. If you've got unlimited budget, then that helps. But if you've got a budget, you can usually find something that fits your choice, your idea of what you would find appealing to be around.
Can I
think-
flip
yeah.
it a little bit though, Claire? Because actually, just for sake of completing the monorail loop and things like that, where you look at the contemporary in comparison to the Poly and the Grand Flow, you look at the price that the Contemporary is, and apart from the smell of the monorail going through the hotel,
It's overpowered by Chef Mickey's.
but also, I don't want to go. I'm not going to bite on that one. But
Not yet.
Not yet. But the theming within the Contemporary has changed considerably in the past 18 months, and kind of lost that real sort of identity that Contemporary once had, which is where I actually think when you go back and you look at Grandestino of just how that's actually established a real identity all of its own, not on the monorail loop, but somewhere which is actually, it's become more affordable. It's made Coronado Springs as a resort just, totally plussed the whole thought of going there as well, hasn't it? Because, I think previously it was very much seen as, that's where all the conferences go. Yeah. And we're just, nobody's that bothered. Maybe we'll go to Caribbean Beach. And then everything kind of changed, and they've rewritten the whole rule of this. And I'm actually looking at, if you look at Contemporary, it's kind of looking dated and looking sort of left behind in a way. Yeah. You also look, and I know somebody mentioned in the chat as well, you look at Wilderness Lodge. Now, that for me, I know when you talk about
Amazing.
Sort of places that are dark and things like that, Wilderness Lodge is on my list for the summer of places. Yeah. If I'm not staying there, I just want to go and walk through and just absorb it because of just what it actually provides. I've been really fortunate. Like I say, I've got a trip to plan. I've started watching watching other people on YouTube rather than just watching us and things like that. But I was watching, and it'll fit in with the February mid-month show when we get there. But Charlie, who's on this Disney exchange program, but they stayed over.
Christmas,
yeah. But
it's beautiful.
Do you know something? What a place! And I know we've seen, other people have been there. They've done their video. They've done their sort of walk rounds and things like that. But that has got to be just the most incredible place to base yourself for a Disney holiday.
Yeah.
You're not on the monorail loop, but you're on the boat, and you can get the boat. Yeah. It's just like, it is a completely different feeling, and for me,
John, you hit the nail on the head. It's like, we're going to talk a lot about resorts tonight that you want to stay at, but all of these resorts you can go and visit at, you can go and eat at, and it's trying to choose which one fits in with your plans. Which one's going to be? Are you going to be in the parks all day? So do you actually spend less on the hotel, and am I going to stay more at sort of a value hotel, but then explore,
visit the
others?
Do you know what, John? I've just had an idea. So
I think
these are like our planning sessions. They're just live on a Wednesday. We just
So Territory Lounge is amazing, and they have quite a nice menu. And I know that at Wilderness Lodge they have a little garden area that has a specific game that you can play.
Yes.
So when John wasn't very well, I sent him a practice kit so that he could perfect his tossing, and that we could have a competition next time we were both in America.
That would be superb, wouldn't it?
So I challenge you and your family.
Accepted. It's already, you don't even have to get a cornhole toss.
So a cornhole toss game at Wilderness Lodge with a beer from Geyser Point.
Territory.
And you can invite friends to join us. You can pick our teams.
I can feel a live show coming on, Claire. I really
so
can.
I
can.
People want to join us in August for a very hot game of cornhole toss.
I can feel the rest.
Let me know the day, and I'll see if I can get the day off work. It'll be a long flight.
I can feel the rest of our families drawing daggers at us at the minute.
It's not
just the pressure of winning, but it's the pressure of doing this in front of a YouTube audience.
Doesn't matter.
Right? It's on.
I'll just have a tantrum and throw a beanbag at the camera. That'd be sorted.
I think it has to happen.
That would be amazing. But
Carrie's going to come and commentate. Amazing.
Oh.
Someone's gonna play.
You
Someone's
know
gonna
the
have to
rules,
come.
Carrie.
I've had an idea,
Brilliant.
John. If you,
Yeah.
I'll lend you my GoPro. You can stick it on the right next to the hole, so you can just see it fly in.
Ben, if
And
it's
Carrie, who's going to
if
be over
it's
there
any-
commentating, can
if
film
it's
the rest of
anything
it.
like
Yeah.
if it's anything like my putting at golf, yeah, it doesn't even need to be anywhere near the hole. You're all right. I'll dig you out of that one. See what I did there, Ben? As Claire and
Dug you
Becca
out.
completely lost it on the smut bit there, right?
See, this
I
is
was-
what tonight's all
I
about.
was
apparently.
thinking about the practicalities, right? I didn't. I might. Hump Day might do it, and I might get a bit giggly on that. But mention a certain other word, and I just remain completely straight-faced and professional, because that's what we do on a Wednesday.
Yeah, right.
But Claire, yeah, I'm up for that. That sounds absolutely superb.
And Carrie's
And
going to be our commentator, which is
that would
awesome.
be even better.
Carrie
I
knows the
actually
rules.
think-
She's a step
Okay.
ahead of us.
Well,
Yeah,
I
but
think
that
she
might, yeah, that might.
When
yeah,
we're
that-
involved, there are no rules.
Right? That sounds like Back to the Future. where we're going, we don't need rules.
You're going to get team T-shirts.
Team T-shirt.
Carrie, somebody once sent me a T-shirt as well. No,
Oh, did
no,
they? What did it
No,
say
no.
on it? What did
Yeah.
it say on the T-shirt, John?
champion tosser. Yeah, that was it, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, boss of the toss, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Someone with a great sense of humour said it.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not even going there because actually,
All those hours of watching the Cornhole Champions on
There you go.
TV
yeah,
John.
comes to fruition, John.
yeah. Neil, all those years of watching. Yeah, I'm not going there.
Let's move on.
But yeah, no, Neil and I actually watched the World Championships one year when we were both in Orlando. We were having a beer, and we just
is it the sort of thing they put on at Miller's?
yeah, but it's
I know it's probably not
it
what
was-
they put on a Disney hotel, though.
No.
maybe not. No, but actually, that gets us just something. Yeah, Neil, great thinking. I still remember that moment. Let's get back on track. There we go.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's. Okay.
So Peter, which would be your ideal hotel, and why is it Wilderness Lodge?
Because Jill wants to
Jill tells you it is.
say that.
It's all about cornhole.
I love it. That is wonderful.
That is
Oh,
Wilderness
well
Lodge.
done, Jill. That's I love that.
Wilderness Lodge was where we first wanted to stay when we first went,
Yeah.
and we didn't. We stayed somewhere else instead. And I still wanted to stay. We go there every time for a meal. I just love the atmosphere. I love the dark woods. I love the lobby. I just love everything about it.
Where do you go for a meal, Peter? Which restaurant do you go to?
We've been to we went to the old, what was it called?
Yeah.
We've been to two.
Yeah, the table service restaurant that used to be
Artist
there.
Point.
Artist
Yeah,
Point. That was the
Artist
best,
Point. Yeah.
the best signature
It was
restaurant on
wonderful.
property.
It was,
Yeah.
yes.
Before
We've
when
not
the
done
characters
the
took over.
Not
yes,
now.
we've not done that, no.
No.
But
Never
last
forgiven
time we met a good friend and we had a wonderful evening at Whispering Canyon.
It's
And
lovely.
the food was a lot better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I have to admit, I was a bit of a food snob about it before I went. I thought, look, we're going to get plentiful portions. It's going to be lots of food. It's not going to be great quality, but we'll have fun. I was wrong. I was so wrong. The meat is actually really good. The veg good. There's lots of fresh veg. It's not just plate after plate of meat. There's real variety. What they encourage you to do is have the different skillets.
Yeah.
So each person order a different one so you can all share. And yeah, and yes, you have lots of fun. Our server was called Megan, and we had lots of jokes about, oh, we've got a princess in our midst and so on. Not that.
Did you ask for ketchup?
We didn't, but we saw other people
Yes,
doing
yeah.
ketchup and people running past with giant forks. All sorts of crazy stuff. It was great fun. Yeah.
What I
Okay,
like about it
it's
though is
not-
because
Yeah.
you're not forced to be a part of that entertainment.
No, you're
It's a
not. No.
bit. It's one of those
Yeah.
things because I know there was a few years ago they decided to remove it for a few weeks, and I think they may have had a few complaints where people thought it was a bit over the top.
Yeah.
But no, it was,
It's good fun though.
It's
The
fine.
servers are really good there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Last time we were there, we had breakfast, and then on the table next to us, they put them in jail. That was quite. I'm guessing they just hadn't paid their bill,
I
but
think they were using their phones at the table, actually.
yes.
Oh dear.
But I also, first choice would be Wilderness Lodge. Second choice would probably be where we stayed last time, which is French Quarter. I like smaller places. I don't like places that are miles long, where you have to walk forever to get to the main building. But yeah,
That's
if
a
you
good
have my
point, though,
choice,
because it
it'd be
depends whether
Wilderness
you,
Lodge.
with some of the resorts, you can pay extra to be preferred, but sometimes is that closer to the main amenities or is it further away? Because there are some
Yeah.
that I think depends on the location.
And
it
the
depends
transport
on what
location
you're,
as well.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
some
well-
of the, I was just thinking like Caribbean Beach. If you choose to pay for, is it the Jamaica set? Oh, I don't know.
I
I'm
think
talking.
it might be Jamaica,
That's near the
Yeah.
Skyliner,
Yeah.
but it's not particularly close to the centre.
the main building. No.
Yeah.
And
So I
it is
guess
very
it's
close-
what's
It's closer to
the
Riviera.
Riviera. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
guess
it's close
it
to Skyliner, and you've got Joffrey's Cart by there, so it's
depends what
Yeah.
your priority is,
Yeah.
I suppose.
yeah.
We could not believe it last time how compact French Quarter was, and many a day we'd get off the bus and we'd just be so grateful that literally you walked from the bus, you got to the main building straight away. You had to go through the main building to get to everywhere else. We
Yeah.
were in our room in sort of less than 5 minutes from getting off the bus. And you were always going past through the main building, so you could always grab some water, refill your water bottle, nip into the shop, talk to reception.
Alcoholic beignets.
Yeah.
That sounds like a
Beignets. Beignets is a big thing for Port Orleans French Quarter. Yeah.
And there's the boat that takes you from there to
Disney Springs.
Disney
yeah.
Springs.
It just that boat isn't particularly quick though, is it? It takes about, by the time you stood in the queue, about 35 minutes to get to
The
Disney
bus
Springs.
is quicker, certainly,
No.
yes, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Not
We
so-
Yeah, oh, I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm saying that
Yeah.
it isn't. It's not the quickest option.
We never had to wait long.
The quickest option if you want to go to Disney Springs is to stay
Get
at
an Uber.
Saratoga.
Yes.
Yes, we've done that too.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
done that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's very easy. It's certainly not a mad dash to get there on the boat, but it's so relaxing and lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a completely different way of seeing stuff that if you're in a car, you miss a load of the boat journey part of
Yeah.
certainly from anywhere at Port Orleans. It's also somewhere where you're forced into it and just taking your time and just, even when you're on the bus, you miss loads of stuff
Yep. Yeah.
on the boat. And I think that goes back to even Wilderness Lodge. If you know what you're looking for out on the lake, you will see some most incredible
Yeah.
things. And I know we mentioned it way back in some one of our podcasts. We might come back and revisit it in the summer as well. But it's that little hidden detail kind of thing as well that you just sort of keep your eyes peeled and just absorb it rather than sitting and being on your phone, because you sit on your phone, you miss a load of stuff.
And
What
you
other-
can't on the boats, there's no Wi-Fi.
I'm trying to think the other resorts that are really have added benefits. I guess anywhere around Crescent Lake.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
what I
By
was going
being
to say.
able to-
Boardwalk
to
Beach
walk
Club.
or-
You can walk to both
And-
Hollywood
Yeah.
Studios and Epcot.
And it all
See,
depends on
that's why I dressed
transportation.
appropriately. You see, that was
Yeah.
it. I thought
Who knew?
See,
Yacht
it's all
Beach
about
Club-
transportation, isn't it? It's trying to work out how
Yeah.
quickly you can get to a park, whether that's by walking or driving
And
or
it's such a quick walk from Yacht Club and Beach Club
Yeah.
to Epcot. It's amazingly
See,
quick. It really
you
is.
actually feel quite. I was going to say privileged. It's probably the wrong word, but it becomes something that you're not used to in normal life. Is getting out of bed, walking basically a couple of 100 yards, and you're in a theme park.
Yeah.
And it's just the most incredible feeling. Even for the fact that the pools that are at the Yacht and Beach Club, you can sit in the pool. I'm not going to tell you, not going to regale the old tale of the Disney mug, but you can sit in the pool at firework time, and you are just absorbed with what's happening in the sky. It is a completely game-changing kind of thing. Again, I have looked for the summer. it's not on my radar because actually I just can't afford to. I can't afford to go and do that at this present time.
Yeah.
But if you get the opportunity, it's the most incredible thing. And I would, going back to what you said, Claire, about the Grand Flow. The Grand Flow, I think, for a lot of people becomes that big sort of, I always wish I could stay there. I don't think it is. It's certainly not for me.
No.
The Yacht Beach Club for me is the most perfect place probably on the whole of property, purely because of its location to Epcot and for its location to just enjoy so much of that Disney atmosphere, which you don't get. You just don't. Even of a nighttime, and you overlooking Boardwalk, and Boardwalk's overlooking the Yacht and Beach. That whole area just ignites with just an atmosphere purely of its own, and yet it's full of people who are not in the theme park.
Yeah.
It's such a special feeling.
It feels like a small version of like Disney Springs along the boardwalk.
Yeah,
Like
it's
people
amazing.
enjoying
isn't
their
it?
nighttime entertainment, happy going for meals like at Flying Fish. And
Trattoria and various.
yeah.
Yeah, there's so much
It's
down there.
beautiful,
You
absolutely
can go
beautiful
to
area.
Jelly Rolls if you
people
so
just
wish.
rolling out of Epcot.
Interesting, John. You talk about Stormalong Bay and the pool and the theming, and I know that each of the hotels, some of the
Oh,
hotels have amazingly themed pools, and I think that
Yeah.
perhaps not so much in the deluxe. I'm trying to think because the pool at the Poly and the pool at the Wilderness Lodge and even at the Grand Flow are not
Yeah.
particularly
They're nice.
exciting.
Yeah, they're
No,
okay.
They're all right,
They've
but
got
they're
two.
not-
They tend to have one more family style pool.
Yeah, the
and
one-
then one.
The Grand Flow's got has it got Mary Poppins
Yes.
in it? Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I thought.
It's got the penguins.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got one and
They-
then the other. But then also at the Poly, there's one where the rooms are towards the DVC area, Tokelau, and then the main one by Pineapple Lanai
Yeah.
and Captain Cook's, which is the main pool, which is like
Yeah.
the entertainment with
Yeah.
the slide. So there's normally one with and one
Yeah.
quieter one.
And I think that there are so many different options in terms of like slides, and I know Old Key West, that lighthouse has a sauna inside it. Most people don't even go and look, but it does.
We will be going to look.
Thank you, Claire.
There's a hot tub right next to it, which is so hot. It's unbelievably hot. Like you can't really sit in it very long hot.
Okay.
But there are different pools around Old Key West. The Turtle Pond area is my pool of preference, and it's got the snack bar and the bar and everything right there. But I think there are so many different options in terms of if you're someone who likes some time at a pool, not a whole day, maybe just or you don't have a UK ticket that gives you access to the water parks. Those hotel pools are there for you to use, and they you get your towels included. And it's easy. You literally just rock up with your magic band and you can access them, and it's really they're great, and they're well looked after. Most of them have lifeguarding during the days of light, the hours of light. As soon as it becomes dusk or dark, you don't have a lifeguard usually, but if you want a couple of hours to chill.
Yeah. The other one I was thinking as well is at Saratoga. You actually get the choice of pools there is quite immense.
There's loads of them, isn't there?
Yeah, and
There are,
all have got very different vibes to them as well, and some deliberately based around sort of entertaining kids. So if that's not your kind of thing, go elsewhere. You've got like the one for the grandstand pool wasn't really our kind of thing. So we ended up when we stayed there, we'd get the car and we'd take the car around to a different part of the resort. And I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember which pool it was. It was absolutely beautiful, and it was the one that the kids.
Springs?
I can't remember. It was within Saratoga, and it was just it had the kids area at the far end of the pool.
Yeah.
And when the kids were younger, it was great because it is safe.
You see them.
And there's and when you've got kids, the quality of the pool is generally very closely aligned to the quality of the slide. So that basically was it. It was just like every single time we went, it was just like That's the pool we want to go and have the best fun in. And it changes depending on which age they're at. So again, you've got to go rather than just saying, oh, this is the one that's nearest our apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go and seek
can have a
out
look at the
what
others.
else. Yeah, go and seek out what
Yeah.
else is available. Don't just think that because you're in maybe Congress Park, that's our pool. We can only go there. You can't. You can go and choose anything within your accommodation.
Your resort,
and it's
yeah.
worth going and actually seeing what's available because some of them might suit you better than what you're closest to.
Some of them might be
Same
quieter
as-
than others as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, very
definitely.
much so.
And
very
if you're
much
staying
so.
at Animal Kingdom Lodge, you remember you've got a pool at Kidani and you've got one at Jambo.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you stay at one
Yeah.
of them, you can use the other one.
Yeah.
That's the
Is
same
that-
at Port Orleans.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, I think it might be
Yes.
is it the
Yeah.
same at the All Star Resorts as well?
Yeah.
I think
Don't
it
know.
is.
No,
I think
Yeah,
as long as
look
it's
it up.
in the same, not same category, but as long as it is the same resort,
same resort.
you're
So
okay
Port
to use it. So
Orleans,
Caribbean
you could
Beach,
go-
you'd
yeah.
within that area, but you can't use the one
Yeah.
at Riviera. It's
Port Orleans, you can use any. So
Riverside.
Riverside
or
or French Quarter.
or French Quarter, or Man Island, or the Carnival Pool, or any
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
others. Yeah.
And majority
So-
of them now have a magic band, so they do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
check
you need to
that-
get in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mahima was asking about the Skyliner, and I think that is an interesting benefit because we all know that the monorail resorts are lovely, but you have to slap down big bucks or,
Yeah.
or rent DDC points to stay at to stay at one of the monorail hotels. Whereas the Skyliner hotels, you've got several options, some of which are easier on the pocket than others.
Yeah.
So,
So
That's a
Art
good
yeah.
call.
Formation, Pop
Really good
Century.
Caribbean Beach,
Riviera.
Riviera, or any of the Epcot hotels because you can easily walk to the Skyliner from Boardwalk or
You want beach.
Yacht Beach.
I think as well, if we're talking about theming, I would also put out Art of Animation. If you want to go and
It's got
see
amazing theming.
some of the theming that's within there, again, if you're on a bit of a Skyliner trek, go and have a look at it because actually, when you actually get there, the actual accommodation itself is good. I don't decry that. It's very much sort of big, sort of block built stuff. However, when you start looking at how they've actually taken it, and just the walk from the pool back to your room, you just get lost in the whole place. And I know, Peter, you said about being far away from sort of the main amenities and things like that, but we ended up when we stayed at Art of Animation, we ended up just going and we must have spent about half a day just walking the entire site.
Yeah.
Just to actually soak up what was there. It was the detail is absolutely immense. And the minute that Disney ever lose that, we miss out on that real special magic. And I think going back to where we are as a show, it is that bit where we talk about what is different, what is completely and utterly different about staying in a Disney hotel. It's a little bit like comparing a UK hotel against a Disney hotel. It's just like you just go to a different stratosphere, and until you've actually, you don't. I think people in the chat said you don't have to stay there. Go and just take a little bit of time to actually go and just explore it.
And use it
So,
as a
yeah.
research to plan your next trip. Because
Yeah,
even though
exactly,
it's your
Ben.
once in a lifetime
Exactly,
trip, you know you'll be,
exactly.
you'll be
So
coming back.
Yeah.
So yes, Colton was asking, if you haven't got a reservation, is it okay to go and explore a different resort? Absolutely. If you have a car, then you might have an issue parking at some of the more popular resorts, particularly the deluxe ones. But you can use Disney Transport. Anybody can use the free Disney Transport. Anybody can rock up at any of the resorts, and you don't have to eat there. You can do. There's lots of options. You can just grab a cold drink or whatever. What you can't do is use the pool,
Yep, you can't.
but you can wander around. You can, look at the lobby. You can look at the grounds. Some resorts you can get a scavenger hunt. There's a hidden Mickey hunt at Wilderness Lodge that they will give you at reception.
If you are visiting a DVC resort, one of Disney Vacation Club resorts, don't forget to speak to a guide, and they'll be able to give you a show of one of the rooms.
Oh,
So even if you
Nice.
want to stay there at a future time, or I want to rent points from a member and want to stay there, you can go and see what the rooms are like. And also
Is- Here's a question for you, Ben. Purely from a selfish point of view.
yeah,
So if you go back in the day before the chaos happened, right? If you went and did a DVC tour,
yeah.
you used to get a couple of sort of fast passes, etc., as a little thank you and backhander for doing. Is there any benefit provided for going on a DVC tour in this era?
You've got two options. I think you can go and do a DVC tour like you just said. It's more of a sales pitch, talk about the actual Disney Vacation Club, or you can ask just for a room tour and just to see what the rooms are like if you're saying you're going to come and visit later.
Oh, okay.
We did that with the Riviera
Yeah.
a couple of years. Well, a year or so probably stayed there. Got talking to the lady, DVC sales lady there, and she said we've got a stay booked in a couple of months, and she said, "Do you want to have a look at the rooms?"
yeah.
So we went,
That's
and,
clever.
And we were able to see the Tower Studio, the
We saw
one
all of it.
bedroom, and we saw the one which is was it on 2 floors, or the one I would know is it had a doorbell,
yes,
which
Yeah.
Be Our
when you
Guest.
press was Be Our Guest.
Brilliantly.
Oh,
So-
nice touch.
Did you
like
put
that.
that up on the channel yet?
I think it's on our channel.
So it's probably up on the channel.
Yeah.
So go and have a look.
If not, I
One
know what my
thing I
job is this
will-
weekend.
Yeah,
And
it will be soon.
and if it is there, be ready because it'll appear on all your socials within the next
Yeah.
couple of days.
One thing
There we
I
go.
will
This is
say-
what happened. Go on,
One thing I
Peter.
will say is go and see the hotels and book food at the hotels. Please do that because recently Disney in Tokyo and in Paris, Disney have started saying that in certain hotels you can't go and eat unless you're staying there. And I wonder how they're going to roll that out.
I
don't think they are.
They would. Not at Walt Disney
I,
World.
I,
There's
I,
so much.
I think that
Yeah.
from
And so
probably
many
a
food
Paris and
options.
Tokyo perspective, that may be a capacity thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where
I
it's
agree.
a reaction to there's too many people, and I know I've seen it with Grand Floridian that they have limited car parking at certain times of the year when it's Christmas, when there's certain holidays. That
Yeah.
if you've got a reservation to dine there, you're only
Yeah.
allowed parking for 3 hours. But then
That's always been the rule, Ben.
yeah. Yeah, but this time they give you a
Just saying.
pink. Yeah, true.
And some places like Riviera, when we
Yeah.
were there last time,
You
wouldn't
couldn't
let us go in
park.
because we didn't have a reservation
So,
via the car.
Okay.
but
But had we gone via the
Skyline,
Skyliner,
we could have.
Yeah.
Yes.
they wouldn't have.
Oh wait,
stopped
I
us.
mean, at the deluxe resorts, the way around that is always offering to valet park. You can park anywhere you want if you want a valet, because you're not using up a car parking space. It'll cost you $33 and a couple of dollars for a tip. But if you really want to park at the Contemporary all day,
Yeah.
it's cheaper than the
wanted-
preferred parking.
we wanted to go to Riviera to charge the car up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now, Mahima's asking about campfires. This is one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
things I was going to come on to.
definitely can.
Oh,
Lots of
wow, yeah.
resorts, they offer campfires.
They definitely do.
And, yeah, I think you can toast marshmallows for free.
You can.
If you want to do s'mores, you have to buy a kit or bring your own
Yeah.
biscuits.
So
and chocolate
most
things.
of the deluxe resorts, certainly Animal Kingdom Lodge, both locations, down by the animals, certainly Jambo House. If you go outside and to if you go towards the animal viewing area, it's on the left hand side.
Yeah.
Wilderness Lodge, it's down next to Geyser Point. I'm trying to think where else have we done. We've done it at the Beach Club.
I've seen it at Riviera.
Yeah,
Seen it everywhere.
Yeah.
it's usually
it's most of
around.
them.
Yeah, it's usually around 6:15 every evening, which
Yeah.
in the winter is dark and a
Nice.
bit.
Yeah.
You know, you quite like standing by the heat of the fire.
You need it
In August.
sometimes.
It's slightly warmer than you might want it to be, but the marshmallows just on their own, they give you a spike and you can have as many marshmallows. They now come in like a little bag. They can put them in like a little plastic bag for you now. You can have as many as you can actually physically eat. There is no limit. And the
That
cast
sounds like a
members,
challenge.
Millie's gone through like
no.
4 bags previously.
Oh,
She's just like loading them up. This is,
Yeah.
and we usually do it before we go for dinner as well, because it's at the time. So we'll grab a drink, go and do the marsh. And I'm like, really, you're not going to eat any food at all. And she's like, I'll be fine. And then we get to dinner and she's like, I'm not hungry. Are you not? I wonder why. But as we know, food in Disney, it doesn't,
There's no
Doesn't
calories.
count. No
doesn't
calories.
matter if you've eaten, 16 pounds of marshmallows. And so yeah, the marshmallows on the road are completely free, and you can have as many as you want. So the kids can knock themselves out. They have wet wipes for the hands afterwards, which I rate. And the cast members who are down there, I have always had amazing interaction while you're there. They'll always have someone by the campfire supervising, but then they'll have 3 or 4 other cast members down there giving stuff out, selling the s'mores kits, and just chatting with the kids as well and the adults who are doing it. It's such a lovely atmosphere, and you can do it for about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
They last it, so you can go, you can rock up as you want, and you can stay for as long as you want.
And then
So,
after
yeah.
that, they've normally got the movies
Movie under the
stars.
sky, yeah,
stars,
exactly,
yeah.
outside.
So has,
But
has anybody
brilliant.
done the Chip and Dale?
What the
Fort Wilderness.
Fort Wilderness with Chip
No.
and Dale?
Yeah, it's
No.
not returned yet either.
It hasn't returned. It's also
Oh.
really difficult to get to, because you have to get off the bus halfway around the resort and walk past the pool and past the shop.
Okay.
It's not an easy thing to get to if you don't know your way around Fort Wilderness.
Yeah, we
But-
walked the whole resort
no.
once.
Oh,
And Mahima, the marshmallows are not just for the kids; they're for anyone.
oh yes.
I like marshmallows. We might have to do that when we go in September.
Yeah.
They're quite small, so you can.
Excellent. I can eat lots.
I'm just imagining you bring hot chocolate, just like put marshmallows on top.
Chocolate.
Not in September.
No,
Not in September. You'll be like,
it will keep the hot chocolate warm.
Stop me.
yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. What other things can you do?
I know. Best one of the lot. Because it was one of the biggest things that really got my goat in the paycheck era. And it's one of the best things. Again, it's just that little bit which sets Disney apart. And that's free parking. No, it doesn't take a lot really to please me, but you've got to consider when they changed it and they were starting to charge you to have a car, which if you wanted to, you were staying on site and you had a hire car. Are you really charging me every night for a car to be sat
Just
there
to sit there.
whilst
Not
I
anymore.
want to
Yeah.
whilst I wanted to be in the theme parks, etc. Just a really little bit of just change that, and you instantly have somebody like me thinking, I can now stay back on site. It was such an easy thing to change.
John, it's that Disney difference where
Yeah.
they started it because every other hotel chain did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
That's
a
it.
lot
Yeah,
of,
And that's
Do
the silly reason
something.
to do something. The reason why
Yeah.
a lot of us book to Disney, and
Yeah.
we used to book through, have like the Magical Express to get you from the airport. Now it's been replaced by Mears. Then they added parking. And then it was just one of those things that it was just too much. It was like, okay, Disney's now taken that bit away where it felt like it's more of just like, okay, I'll book at Disney because I know I'll get car parking included. I know how to get from here to from the airport to the hotel. I know how to get from all the transportation options, from the buses to the boats, Skyliner, and everything. It all felt like a inclusive.
it's a massive
holiday.
difference, Ben, isn't it? And equally, I would also put out there, it's another thing that, in the mix of things, it's another one that still rankles that so many other places. Even if you stay, I'm not even talking about in a Universal hotel, but if you stay in a hotel in the US and in the UK, and we're beginning to see this in major.
Yeah.
If you do a city stay and you've got the car, you then go, oh, by the way, we're going to charge you so many pounds.
Here's your resort fee. Here's your
And it actually, again, coming back to what I said at the start of the show, if you're planning a trip for the first time, these are the little things that actually just creep in under the radar and you might not be aware of. So you get a resort fee if you just basically because you want to stay in a certain place, but they charge you a little bit more. Then they charge you for parking. So that bargainous price that they're
It's
advertising
not. No.
Yeah.
isn't this, and you're
It's like
comparing,
flying Ryanair.
yeah, but you're
Yep.
you're comparing it with a Disney price, which
Yeah.
actually the price you pay per
Is
night
what you see. What you see is what you pay.
you
Yeah.
what you're actually getting, and
Yeah.
a lot of people mix that up. Yes, the price of a Disney hotel is higher when you first look at it, but there's no add-on fee
Yeah.
Yeah.
in respect
That's
of resort fee and parking. It's
That's
worth
very
thinking.
true.
Depends on how you look at it, but from a planning point of view, I think that's something to just do your maths, because it's a cracking thing that you might actually see the gap to a Disney hotel sort of diminish and actually go the other way as well.
And the parking at the parks, where it's different
Yeah.
when you stay on site, when you're
Yeah, yeah.
staying off site.
I think that should be our unofficial motto, do the maths.
Do the math. Yeah.
Great British Mickey
numbers.
Waffle. Do the
Crunch
math.
those numbers.
Yeah, but it's
Excel is
important
your
though.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important
Spreadsheets.
because in some ways you can make that mistake, and you can actually think,
Yeah.
well, I'm saving a few quid by doing this, but actually you're not saving any money because you're paying out day on day for parking, theme park parking in particular. I'm now thinking, if you stay off site
Yeah.
because you've seen a villa that you really like, you think, oh well, I can save some money that way, but you then have to factor in that you can go to
$30
the
a day
theme
for
parks.
parking.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So,
another. Go on, Peter.
Sorry.
We looked at staying in the Disney Springs area in one of the hotels. And it wasn't an expensive hotel by any means, but by the time you added the resort fee and whatever, it made it really near the same price as staying
Staying on site. Yeah.
on site. John is right.
Yeah.
We did the maths. We did
Hang on, Peter. Wait. Hang on.
John's
I'm
right.
going.
Bryson
Say
wants to
that
know.
again.
Me pen and a bit of paper. I've got two things tonight, right? So I've got Claire one. Right. So what? Wait, 24th of January. Peter said John is right. There we go. In what 4 years?
4.5
4.5
years.
years. First time. Bingo. Done it.
Go on, Claire.
I was going to say that I think there are other things that are included in Disney hotels that, particularly some of the deluxe villa hotels and deluxe resorts, that you might not realise are even available. I think, number one, there's always information available. So if you're planning to spend your time in the parks, they will have displayed somewhere what's going on that day.
Yeah.
It's on the TV, number one.
TV
so you
screen,
can find everything you need to know on the TV, park opening hours, everything. I think also there are things like the community halls at the deluxe villa resorts. There are things that you can do, like the lobby tour at Wilderness Lodge, that perhaps people don't even know exist. And then you can book experiences and various things. I know Carrie mentioned the launch, renting the pontoon boats, which you can do from the, particularly from, I think it's from the Grand Flow and from the Contemporary Resort. I don't think you can, or maybe you can from the Poly at the moment. I'm not sure because of the building, how accessible that dock area.
We were able to go on the fireworks cruise from the Poly in October. So
I know the dock for the boat, the actual boats. Oh, did you?
No, we did the
it was
pontoon.
one of
The,
the
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe so then. We were sat on the Tiki Terrace, so I couldn't quite see it. It was round the corner.
Okay.
So I guess that those types of things that you can do art class at Coronado Springs. You can do a mosaic making because it's Spanish themed. There are
You could do tie-dye t-shirts. There's so many.
right. There are things that if you actually look, and it's all on the Disney website. Actually, it's all in the the amenities and all the things that you can do. You can find all sorts of stuff. And you don't have to be staying there. That's the other good thing. I know we're talking about why it's good to stay at a Disney resort, because these things are easily accessible and the information's available.
Yeah.
But you don't actually have to stay there. If you want to go do Sangria University, you can do that. Looking at you three bridges.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can do almost themed events. So when we were there last June, Animal Kingdom were doing a Father's Day event.
Yeah, I didn't
Well,
know.
they have Halloween and Christmas.
You can go
and then-
trick or treating round the resorts at Halloween. I didn't know that. You don't
Wow,
have to go to
wow.
Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. You can go round the resorts
Oh,
trick
cool.
or treating, and they will give you candy. Who knew?
Oh, that's cool.
That sounds cheap,
No.
like getting a ticket to Mickey's
Yeah.
Not So Scary.
Most
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
Does it start in August, or is that?
No, it's only on
No,
Halloween.
it's only on Halloween,
Yeah,
that one.
there you go. You see
Oh.
that's the difference.
Heather was asking about the price of parking at the theme parks.
Too
I don't
much.
know. We don't know.
Right,
$28,
it's
$30
$30.
Okay.
a day.
Right.
Standard
Yeah.
parking. $55 a day preferred parking.
Oh.
So again, if you think about Brits going for 2 weeks,
Uber
That's a
me
lot of
up.
money.
I think
Yeah.
Uber me up. I think is the answer to
Yeah.
that one.
That sounds the same price as a minivan.
Yeah, it's a
great.
lot. It's a lot, especially if you're right at the back of the car park. You still got to walk a mile.
At least the trams are back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna, Joe. I'm gonna interject here because normally I'm the one who comes up with the skinflint way of avoiding it. There is no way of avoiding it. You just have to. You just accept that when you actually pay for your Disney ticket, if you're staying on site, you pay. You've paid for your parking. If you've not staying on site, you still have to pay for
Pay
it.
for your parking.
And you just again going back to it's just put it into that
gotta-
comparison of whether or not shall I stay on site and actually enjoy all the theming as we discussed earlier in the show with free parking. There we go. Like I do like a bit of free parking, I've got to say. Or do you just suck it up and just accept I have to pay it, it doesn't really matter, and we go from there.
To be honest-
and actually
It's one of those things, like we said, you do the numbers, you work out whether, do I need a car? If I need a car, yes, I need to have that cost in.
Yeah.
If not, I can spend that extra money on going from, say, a value resort to a moderate resort, or moderate resort
Yeah.
to a deluxe.
Yeah.
Because I get
Or a
that
value to a
benefit.
deluxe, the cost of the park.
Yeah.
I think for me that like particularly if you think about Magic Kingdom, so you've got to park in the Magic Kingdom parking lot, and then you've got to get the ferry boat or the monorail. It's a bit of a drag. And if you're paying standard parking at $30 and you're at the back of the villains lot, and it's going to take you 30
Half an
minutes,
hour.
if not a little bit more, to get.
yeah, 'cause
I
you're not
personally-
you're not walking from there to the TTC
Right.
and the ticket
If you're there at-
transportation centre.
7:30 in the morning, you get the front row of the standard parking, and you're probably a row further forward than preferred sometimes.
If you look, I was going to say if
Yeah.
you're lucky, it depends on what side of the bed they got out of. Because
right.
sometimes you turn up there and
You're behind the
they
trees, and sometimes you're not.
Yeah, and they deliberately park you that little
Yeah.
bit further back, and
But-
it's as if they're messing with you.
Yeah. I think
And
if you
I mess with them because I have a bit of a strop when that happens. I decide, well, I'll show you. I'm going to walk before your tram turns up.
I'm going to walk behind my car.
Yeah, and I'm going to be on that. I'm going to be on that monorail before those people who got that tram.
Speed walk. But I was going to say, if it's $30 to park standard parking for Magic Kingdom, I would pretty much 100% of the time drive and valet park at one of the monorail loop resorts, because when I'm done at Magic Kingdom, I'm jumping on the resort monorail or a launch boat, and my car is there, and I don't have to trek all the way back through the car park at the end of the day.
And wait
That
for a tram
$5
that you've just missed.
Right.
Yeah.
That $5 difference that is going to cost me is 100% worth it. So I would say if you're going to be doing standard parking all day at the Magic Kingdom or at one of the event parties, like we've not done Mickey's Not So Scary without parking at the Poly or the Contemporary.
I would say that if you're on site for those sort of things, Magic Kingdom especially, I'd be using Disney transportation because it gets you closer to the park.
Yes, but you still have the queue to get on a bus back to your resort afterwards. And that is one of the challenges of staying on site, is that when the park closes, those bus lines, wow.
Yeah.
They can
Wait.
they can be long.
Wait.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can wait.
But if you've got a
to-
tired child, I'm going to
Yeah.
say, yes, of course you can wait. But if you've got a knackered kid in a pushchair who desperately need to get them back to bed because they're
If
not
they're in
having
the
fun.
pushchair, they can sleep in the pushchair.
Doesn't always work like that, Becca. Just going to say,
No.
nice idea.
Nice idea, but
That's
doesn't
not
work.
all. That's not
Well,
always
they
the
can
case.
sit in the
This
pushchair.
is why you go with
Yeah.
family and
There's-
like you
you know,
offload.
There's a fine line between safety and restraint.
Oh, we know you know all about that, Claire. Yeah.
What I'm going to say is that sometimes you just need to get back to the resort,
Yeah.
and those bus queues can be
Yeah.
the most as particularly when you see other resorts getting bus after bus after bus, and you're stood there and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
We've had this for like
been here
we've
half
said
an
at
hour and
Coronado
nothing.
Springs bus stop, and it was like at Magic Kingdom, and it was like boardwalks next to it. We
Yeah.
saw 4 boardwalk buses.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
one
Where's
of you.
ours? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
Grumpy
that
old
is
gate,
one thing.
I like that idea. I think I would be scared though that if I walked in, they'd make me clean the toilets for the next 8 hours.
If
So
you turn up in cast member uniform, can you just
Turn up
drive
in the
in?
right uniform.
No, we
Don't
did it
turn
for
up in
the
a
Halloween
James
party. We turned up in we were in skipper costumes for the Halloween party, and we had to pay. Well, we didn't. We valeted. So
Yeah.
one thing I would say though, of course, about the buses and so on, is that Uber and Lyft do also service the parks and particularly the resorts.
Yeah.
So that is an option.
Yeah,
Yes, you got to
definitely.
pay.
Although, again, Magic,
Magic
Kingdom,
Kingdom.
dropped you off at TTC.
you get
Yeah.
dropped
Uber.
then get your Uber to the Grand Floridian.
Yeah.
But
Or-
not all the time can you
Can't
get there
always
unless
do that.
without you got a dining reservation.
They
So
can
go
drop
for
you
dinner.
off.
So go for dinner or go for breakfast.
Can they not drop you off?
Not always.
They can turn you away.
They can.
I've never ever experienced that.
Yeah.
I've always
No,
Uber
we
just drop
we
you off. And they
haven't,
say
but-
you're checking in. No,
Yeah.
on you go.
Yeah.
So
I think as well, when you get to that particular part, certainly with Grand Flow, and you get to the gate, even if they turn you away, you can still walk a bit. It's not that
That's
far.
fine.
It's
Just
not
drop
that.
me off here.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. I'll settle up now and let's go, because actually it's not worth the hassle of going back to Ticket and Transportation Centre.
Yeah.
And your Uber driver will be quite happy with that because he doesn't want the hassle.
Yeah.
He or she doesn't
just drop
want
us
the
off
hassle.
over the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just take it as it comes. You know,
Yeah.
you get a hell of a lot more flexibility with Uber and Lyft,
Yeah.
just on the fact of where you can get dropped off. The one thing to really bear in mind is when it's busy, it's after fireworks.
Oh,
It's
the
a-
They
cost.
charge you more.
Prices
Yeah,
go up.
but
Yeah,
go
so
back.
pricing.
But if it means you can get back to a resort,
Get it from there.
have 10-20 minutes to just get yourself back together again, and then just sort of bide your time before you end up with surge pricing.
Totally.
But go from a resort, especially around Epcot as well, because it becomes much easier.
I'll
you
also give you a handy little tip as well.
Yeah.
You can also schedule what time you want to be collected from, and it's not usually impacted by surge pricing.
Okay.
We did it for Christmas morning to go from where we're being picked up from All Stars to the boardwalk for breakfast, and it was cheaper at that time of the night to book it for the following morning than what it actually would have been if we booked it that morning.
Wow. I mean, I think that when I'm in Epcot, if we're leaving out the back through International Gateway to get an Uber,
Yeah.
because that's the one time we probably, if we're off site, we would get an Uber or a Lyft to Epcot, so we can all enjoy a beverage. And we tend to go get dropped off either at Boardwalk or at Beach Club, just because it's easier.
It's much easier, and you don't involve yourself within that kind of scrum of which is my Uber, who's there.
Oh yeah,
And actually, you know exactly.
and you can
where-
sit in the air conditioning and
it just makes a big
chill.
difference. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just
Much
makes a
more
big
pleasant.
difference.
So
Most of the
I'm going
time-
to take us back to the actual resorts now, and one of the perks that people may not know about, and that's the toiletries.
I thought you were going to say the toilets. I was like,
Well, that as well.
No, we're
The
talking a
actual-
lot about the ones at Sonar. That's
the
an-
toiletries that you get in your room. Now there was it 2022? The news broke that the H2O brand was not going to be produced anymore, and there was an outcry
there was.
because people love the scent. It takes them right back. For me, it's the grapefruit and bergamot. from Saratoga Springs that takes me right back there. And yes, quite a few of those little bottles found their way home, snuck into my suitcase somehow.
Is that that's not the one that smells like
Unfortunately.
marzipan?
I've got a full
No.
bag like that. of
I know,
toiletries.
Unfortunately, a lot of them are now doing the
On the wall.
attached to the wall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unless
you
you're
re-
at the DVC resorts, because they have their small little bottles still that
Oh.
they replenish.
Do you have them in
Not all of
Grandestino
them.
Tower as well?
Yep.
But also, if you don't feel like trying to prize one of the big bottles off the wall and spending time in Disney jail, you can actually buy the toiletries in the resort shops and take
You
them
can't
home and buy
anymore.
big bottles.
Anymore.
Oh,
No. No, they stopped.
Stopped.
But I
yeah.
read recently that they've purchased the formula.
Yeah, Disney purchased Formula a couple of years ago because they were going to rebrand it as their own. So they own it and they're going through the suppliers, but it's still going to be manufactured. But they're not sure whether it's going to be sold or whether it's just going to be for the hotel.
Hotel only.
Okay.
Grumpy old Git absolutely
No,
is
I've
bang
just read-
on
I've just written
Yes,
this.
indeed.
because
Yeah.
you can get a discount. Did you know that?
Yes.
If you go via our website, you can get a discount of 10% at Magic Park Sense. Just
There you
saying.
Which, yeah, and also, we've not talked about this.
The smell.
And this is one of the greatest, most incredible things about staying in a Disney hotel. You will go home and you will wake up in those first days when you return home and you're seeking out the aroma that you've called home
Which is your
for so
favourite?
many days.
Has anyone
you're-
seen the new one that they've got out that only launched yesterday? Mousekeeping.
Oh,
Is that the spray that they put in the rooms when they've, or is it the smell of the? Is it the old room service that's left outside your,
smell of a mop.
or is it the smell of the end of a shift of mousekeeping?
I was going to say, does it only light up 2 days? Every 2 or 3 days.
While Ben's looking it up, I want to know in the chat, which is your favourite resort fragrance?
Oh,
I'm going to use the word fragrance because we talked
Yeah.
about toilets. Smell is not necessarily the
no.
right word.
No,
Which
it's
is your
the most-
favourite resort fragrance?
yeah, it is the most beautiful thing, and actually, I've got to say, it's the one thing that sets so many hotels apart
Yeah, totally.
from one another, and it is actually. I know we said it earlier about if you go and you just tour the resorts, just go in and just take that massive intake of breath, and just everyone is completely unique. And
Totally.
I've just got to say, from the Grand Flow, the smelly Grand Flow is the most beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, the Yacht and Beach Club for me,
Not my
I
favourite.
have got the most amazing amount of different candles that try to recreate the smell and do it very successfully. I would put a candle on at home and actually you just get taken completely to a time and a place.
All of them.
And quite often music can do that. But I never thought a scent could actually do that to me.
I love the ones at the Christmas shop.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not
No,
a
which
resort
resort
vibe.
No,
smell?
but-
Let's keep on
Resorts.
keep on topic, Ben. That's it.
So it's a tie for me between Riviera and Grandestino Tower.
Ooh. Riviera, I absolutely agree with you. And interestingly, Anna and I, when we were there in December, we went to Topolino's for breakfast, and we walked into the Riviera, and both of us just went, "Wow,
Wow.
that
It's
smell
such a
of the
nice
Riviera
smell.
is incredible. It is unique.
Yeah.
There isn't another hotel that smells like it, and it is just like slightly overwhelming but beautiful. And actually, I bought for Christmas Anna a set of wax melts of Riviera
Oh,
smell
lovely.
because of the fact that we both went,
It's that moment. It is that
Yeah.
moment, though.
and they're
Claire, isn't
bang
it?
on. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
What I love is that you can do it to take yourself back to a resort, but take yourself back to an attraction. Because I've just loaded Magic Park Sense, and the first one that comes to me is Pirates Auction. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Maybe my favourite might be Animal Kingdom Lodge, though. I love
Got
this.
that one.
It's like slightly I was going to say musty. I don't mean that. I mean slightly musky. It's like slightly darker
Yeah.
smell.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
It's amazing. But I also, and the resort that always takes my breath away when you walk in, and I don't know whether that's the smell or whether that is the whole thing, is Wilderness Lodge. When you go through those doors and you walk in and
but
it hits you.
is it the, I'm trying, is it the wood that is actually made from?
Is it damp wood? Who knows?
Is it? Yeah, but
Yeah.
it is a completely unique kind of thing. Again, I love this, and this is again, it's a show that we would love to be able to bring to everybody.
We're going to have to do a Wednesday about smells.
Smells. I
Television.
I think
but
I might
it's so
need to buy
difficult
someone
to
here.
do, isn't it?
I've
It's
just seen an
such a
all-star
difficult one.
wax melt.
I'll tell you which is really nice is the pot wax melt.
Smells like Teen Spirit. There you go.
smells like cheerleader.
Yeah.
Sorry, does the pot black smell like snooker balls?
They're all great, and actually they're all different. And I think that there are. I think is it contemporary smells similar to
Grand and beach.
I was going to say
Very similar.
over the smell in Flight Passage as well.
It's very similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually some of those other resorts like Caribbean Beach, Riviera, Gran Destino, they've all got their own unique fragrance.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it's a bit difficult to do a show without
We can't.
It's really interesting
Can't
because I
think of
remember
a
scratch and sniff card that we can send.
during the 50th celebrations, most of the resorts all used a 50th scent.
Oh,
So,
Yeah.
they all use the same
Yeah,
scent.
but it
then when
really
we went,
annoyed people.
when we
that
went
was the thing,
afterwards,
wasn't it?
it was like, oh,
Don't want that.
this is what this smells like. This and it's,
Normal again.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was from the JPEG eras of cutting budgets.
Yeah.
Like,
And of
you've
course,
got to use
if you
one
go
smell.
if you go to the Grand Flow around Christmas time, you largely smell gingerbread.
Yes,
Chef Mickey.
in a
jar.
jar.
Oh
it.
dear.
Does that mean at
Candy
Thanksgiving
dumps are like-
you get green bean casserole, wax
Yeah.
melt? Thanksgiving.
So, guys, I'm going to ask you a question. Imagine that you have maybe an hour, and I'm going to teleport you directly into a resort, and you can do one thing. You can maybe sit in the lobby and soak up the smells and the sights and the sounds. You can go for your favourite bit of food that you can only get from that one place. You can go to your favourite pool that's only in that place.
Can we borrow Claire's time
but
machine?
You've got an hour.
Yes.
You can teleport in and out, so you don't need to worry about transport. So where are you going and what are you doing? Let's start with Claire.
Oh, thanks. I am going to go to the Poly. I'm going to go to Trader Sam's and then hang out in the lobby and do the kukui nut necklace making experience that my daughter did.
Oh,
Cool.
There you are.
Wow.
You can make your own kukui nut necklace.
Very nice.
It's very cool, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Polly for me.
Cool. Becca, come to you next. Where are you going and what are you doing?
I am going to the Riviera and the balconies that are attached to the lobby, and I'm going to watch the sunrise or sunset.
Ooh.
Whichever
Ooh.
time of the day
Good
it is.
call. Oh, like that.
You've stolen my idea.
Okay.
Go to
well,
Ben now.
I won't
Come on,
come
Ben,
to
think
you
of
yet.
another.
I won't come to you yet, Ben. And Peter, what about you?
Oh, that's a hard one. I would go to the Riviera as well, but I'd sit in the main lobby at top of the stairs in the coffee area with a very nice cake.
Oh, yes.
Because they do have some very nice cakes. in
Petite
that lobby
Cafe.
area.
Yes.
Petit Cafe, yeah.
Yes, yeah. I chose the wrong one when I went there. I chose the 50th anniversary cake and it just tasted like sweet.
Sugar.
Anonymous sweet. But yeah, they had some really nice ones and I should have chosen something different. John, what about you?
It can only be one. It's the Yacht and Beach Club, and Yacht Club in particular. I've just been in walking in, and just that welcome as you walk in.
From the Admiral.
Oh, it's just beautiful. It's just like it isn't even just the welcome home bit. It is the bit of and okay, I know fine well that the guy on the gate has actually tagged you and said, This is the name of the family that come in. But when you walk in, they say, this family, welcome to the yacht club. And you're like, hang on a minute. This is just like, this is beyond. You don't even know who I am. I might be someone different. But they've actually got it. They've got it down to find out. The smell as you walk into the Yacht and Beach Club, it is just something I just can't even begin to. I would sit there all day. I would be probably. I could probably do 48 hours worth of working, just sitting there and just answering as many emails as possible. I'd be so productive just with that smell. It would be amazing. But more so, and you said about going, what activity? It would have to be for Stormalong Bay. And it's really weird because I'd not even thought about that, Jill. And when you mentioned it, I can actually remember the very last day that we had from our last trip in 2019. We did 10 nights at the Yacht Club, which was just incredible. But I remember the very last hour of that. And that is such a bizarre thing. You know, when you're actually around a swimming pool and you just completely maxed out a Disney hotel, and you've just you and for us and don't get me wrong, because actually we love going and staying in the villa, and it's that bit where you actually have had enough. We want to go and just have a little bit of time for us as a unit and as a family. But that last hour, I actually remember it as in the space of 3 minutes. I remember it so vividly because it was just like it was certainly from my perspective, it was the end of us ever being able to go and do this, and I just soaked up every little bit. The sand bottom pool, the ability to go and play the game of pool whilst just sort of in the most amazing place. It is just brilliant. And we're not going there in the summer. I don't give a stuff that we're not going there in the summer. We will go, and we will look enviously across the fence because we haven't got the little band that let us into the pool. But you know something, I really don't care, because actually you're going to go and soak up that whole ability, that whole thing about the Disney experience and the Disney hotel. Yeah. If you've never been able to do it, like we said throughout the show, go and just walk around, because you can. You can't go and swim in the pools. That's fine. But go and soak it up. Go and get the smell. Go and get the whole sort of aura of what goes on. And it really blows you away, because it is something that is quite unique. It is so different from any other hotel chain. It doesn't matter if you go to Dubai, you go to Australia. Nobody seems to do the same thing. And actually, I think we're very privileged looking at Walt Disney World and seeing the actual memories that they actually build based on so many different things. And yeah, go and do it.
Oh. Ben, what about you?
I'm going to Coronado Springs, going to Three Bridges and having after just a lovely meal there. I'm going to walk around and find one of the hammocks that are around towards Grand Casino and just sit and relax and lay in one of those for the afternoon.
Lovely. Oh. Well, as for me, I'm heading to Port Orleans French Quarter. I'm going to order a plate of beignets, and I'm just going to sit and relax, because at the moment it's the only place you can get them. I don't know if once Tiana's Bayou Adventure opens, whether they're going to be selling beignets in Magic Kingdom. I hope so.
If they don't, they've missed the trick.
I hope so,
Yeah.
But for now, no, you have to go to Port Orleans French Quarter, so I will
You're going to go
sit
for the
there.
boozy beignets though, Jill?
Yeah, I'm a grown-up, so I will have the boozy ones. And
Excellent.
and I will sit there and just relax and enjoy being in what's become one of my favourite resorts and just having a yummy snack. So I don't know about you guys, but I am inspired to go and price up our next stay. And if anybody else would like some help with that, we've mentioned our good friends at Portwood Travel who've been in the chat tonight. Do check them out, and they can help you with all aspects of your Walt Disney World holiday. So before we shut our resort hotel door, and relax for the night, let's take a peek at what we've got coming up in the future. No, we do have things going up in the future.
We do indeed,
do.
but yeah, there's no video this week.
And also, but also, if you're actually listening to the podcast, that was just a little bit of tumbleweed that came up in the video. And actually, we did this last week, and I think between us, we actually felt that it works better if we just tell you. I
We
love
have so much stuff
I
going on.
love the video,
Yeah.
but I love the video because it's such a lovely way of finishing the show. But actually, if you listen to the podcast, you've got no idea because you just
You get
listen to
30
the
seconds of lovely music.
You just got the music. So it doesn't.
We
doesn't
might
mean
start putting them
anything.
on socials though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe
So what do we have coming up?
So next week we're talking
Yep.
about table service restaurants at the resorts, which will be
Which follows on
continued-
quite nicely, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So if you want to talk about
Yeah.
Cape May Cafe or maybe Topolino's, then join us next week because we'll
Even
be...
Chef Mickey's.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm hosting it, and I'm sorry. There is a veto on Chef Mickey's. It's not happening.
If you're
Sure,
in
lucky
the
to get
if
to it.
you're
Wait,
in the show,
anytime someone mentions Chef Mickey's, this will happen.
And
More
More
then,
tumbleweed.
there'll be people get kicked out of the chat if they start talking about it.
I,
Yeah.
So
I think it's more. Why don't we have a drinking game
Anytime.
every time you mention Chef Mickey's?
Yeah, but I need to go to work the following day.
Yeah.
it's Wednesday, Peter.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
But also on the first
Well, there you
of the month,
I'm
we
not
will
working.
have
So next week.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
a brand new podcast where we
Yep.
are starting a brand new series.
Yes.
this is
talking about-
exciting.
It's very exciting.
Oh my word, this is going to be so
Imagineering icons.
Yeah.
good. And
And
actually,
we are kicking off with a doozy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Let's not
Spoilers.
spoil it.
No
Let's
spoilers.
not spoil it.
No
We're not going to
spoilers.
spoil it. We're not going to spoil it because we haven't even recorded it yet. So,
Yeah.
so there's no pressure involved whatsoever for the first of the month show, and also, yeah, we've got loads coming up. I actually think that I know we started the show and I was whinging about it being January, but it's so good.
Not for much longer.
I know,
Yep.
thank goodness. And actually, once we get beyond that, yeah.
I think
What
once
should-
we've recorded the 1st of February show, we'll go, good, January's done.
Yay.
Yeah, because it'll probably be the 1st of February when we get that.
Yeah.
We'll do it live. Yeah.
Yeah. But no,
So thanks, guys. Tonight has really transported me from a dark and cold and windy UK
Yeah.
to beautiful resorts with wonderful smells, lovely food, and all sorts of things to enjoy. And now I think in our cozy hotel suites, it's time to draw the curtains, hang out the do not disturb sign, and hit the hay. But if you haven't had quite enough waffle, all our previous shows are available on our YouTube channel and on your favourite podcast platforms. Please do check them out. Please do also share our details with your friends and family. Preferably those who are interested in Disney, but you might want to inflict it on just random aunties who haven't got a clue. Yeah, up to you. And do join the conversation in the Waffler's Arms, which is our Facebook community. We get together, we share Disney news, we talk about our countdowns, our planning, all sorts of endless banter. We are at GB Mickey Waffle on Instagram, on Threads, on TikTok, Facebook, even on the embarrassing X.
Formerly
And,
known as Twitter.
Yes. So
Yes.
do follow along. You've got lots of Disney magic to share. But I think it's time to settle up the hotel bill. And there's only one thing we can say.
Jill's paying.
Hang on.